Hey, good morning, everybody. Oh, just getting up, cup of tea. I got a couple of days left here in Newfoundland. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to go rent a car on my visa, and it's only going to cost about $100 for a day and a bit of gas. So if anybody here on my live feed or on my YouTube or Facebook wants to see me today or tomorrow or Sunday or Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, you can inbox me privately and I will come to your home, your school, your church. If you got a child that's suffering, if you're suffering, if your husband's suffering, your brother's suffering, if you got a mental illness, you got any issues, you got a concern, just inbox me on my Facebook, and I will come to your home. So the next today, I'm gonna spend some time with Lisa and my son. I want to see my son. He's my blood son, and I love my son John more than anybody in this world. I'm home now 10 days. I seen my son once because I sacrificed my time for ye as a group and me too. But today I want to spend some time with my son and just get reacquainted, just see what my son is feeling. And I'm going to Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. If anybody on my inbox wants me, I'll come to your home. It don't matter where it's at. And I'll come sit down and have a chat with your son, your wife, your daughter, your brother, your mother. I'll give you an hour of my time. I will take as many as people would like to speak or want me to come to see them in their homes. So I'd like to apologize that I can't continue to protest. I have 3 days left. I'm drained emotionally, mentally, and physically. I want to see my son. Plus, I want to give opportunity to people that never came out and couldn't come out. So if you're suffering with mental illness, anxiety, stress, addiction, you can call me, inbox me, and as many as people as I can get, I will come. But if I get overcome with the people, I can't. So the moral of my video is I'd like to thank everybody in St. John's, Newfoundland. I'd like to thank Newfoundland as a whole. I'd like to thank everybody from Alberta, BC, Toronto. I got people in Quebec. I really like to thank you for the following. I know I've grown a lot. I've known I've grown a lot. I know my fiance is going to get a better person back in their life. My daughter's even going to get a better person in her life. So I got to be really grateful, humble, and thankful for bringing that inner peace with me, so I can carry it into my relationship now with my fiance and my daughter. And I'm going to be a better person after all. So I'd like to thank everybody for your financial support, your comments, your gestures, your support was not unnoticed. It won't go untouched. You'll see it in my voice. You'll see it in my actions. You'll see it in my maturity. You made me so mature. I'd like to thank you for that. So just what I want to sum up is we all know that a lot of people don't come out to vote because they have no interest, and some maybe are sick. Some maybe are at home, addicted. Some are elderly. The election is coming up. This is very important now. We need social reform, social justice, mental illness. There's a lot of issues that need to be on the forefront. And I'd like to thank Mr. Chess Crosby from the Conservative government for at least coming down and at least asking me what I am protesting. And I'd really like to give a shout out to Paul Lane. I tried to get a hold of all the officials, Liberals, NDPs, NTV, John Howard Society. Shame, really, really big shame on the John Howard Society. We won't get into that. It's not about bitterness or hate, I'm just really, really disappointed that we have so much support from the government, the John Howard Society, and the John Howard Society. They know me, and for them to charge me It's a big mortal shame on you, John Howard Society. You know my mental state, my mental condition. You know my 35 years of struggle with my mental illness. And you know I wasn't in my right mind. I wasn't speaking properly. I lost 20 pounds of weight. My lips were broke out. My mental state was really, really, I was seeing things on the line. I was hearing things on the line. You know, I had like 5,000 people texting me. I had 10,000 requests and friends, and my mind was it was ready to explode. So in a way, I'm glad I got arrested off the line, because it did really, really give me a awakener, opened my mind, and I really learned a lot of valuable lessons during this whole journey. Is, you know, sometimes think before you speak, and it just goes to show that I need more growth and improvement in myself. So when I go back to Ontario, I'm going to set up a little program to try to help me to deal with how to talk in society and how to live in society, because I got out of prison and I never asked for any help. I just done this on my own. So I think it's time for me to go back to therapy, just to get some better psychological thinking about how to live out on the street. So, you know, you've helped me a lot, and I got to really thank you for that. But what it all boils down to, sum this all up, remember when election time comes, we, like, you know, I love ye, and if you're liberal, like, you know, I'm not trying to ask you to follow me, to, you know, change your vote because of me. Your vote is your vote. But what I'm trying to ask you is, trying to go over some of my videos, go over some of the Liberal platform, and just see what the Liberals promised on their election platform when they were asking for your vote. And just see if they done at least 20% of what they promised in the election, which I know they won't even accomplish 10%. It's a democratic society, but we're in a democracy, whereas a dictatorship, because the people, you can speak all day long until you're blue in the face. When your provincial government shun you like this and put a black eye on you and a shame, they don't need to be in power. I know you're liberal. You don't want conservative. Vote NDP. Vote this new government coming up. You know, we got to get a new try in there, because, you know, the last 9 days I've bluntly asked as best I can with the rhetoric. I had people, you know, all over Newfoundland texting different government officials, and not one person really returned the call. So it just goes to show that the Liberal government, the people out there, you know, the elderly, you know, got to spend their pension on their medication. You know, we got youth. There's no programming. You know, we got a lot of stress in our society, the mental illness, the addiction, the infrastructure. You know, where's all our natural resources? Where's all our money and our billions of dollars of oil and natural resources? How come most of society in Newfoundland are living on a check and living on welfare, but yes, the rest of the government and the official parties and oppositions are all living in luxury homes, driving Hummers, all their kids are driving Land Rovers, and I'm just wondering, where's all our natural resources and our money to, you know, social programming, social reform, justice, infrastructure, you know, mental awareness, mental illness. And I just don't understand how they can give out free methadone all across Newfoundland, but yet the elderly people got to go in and pay their medication from their pension. It's a lot of issues that I've been seeing and noticing, you know, with grade 6 and my education. I just really can't understand that how the provincial government could take our conference and our natural resources from our land and all our single parents and the youth. They're being taken away from their parents, and now their parents are high anxiety and stress, and their kids are put on medication, and, you know, the welfare system is a joke, it's a farce, you know, and child protection, you know, in Newfoundland, a lot of women has been dealing with a lot of unhealthy issues of child protection. You know, I know there's some good child protection, but I know there's some bad. The same with the police, same with the government, same with Correctional Services of Canada. But it all boils down to what party has got the platform that's going to put it out to the public, and the public's going to believe their platform. They're going to vote for that, and then when they get in power, that platform is pushed to the side. So, you know, like, we got to stop promising the people and amping up the people because it's election time. You know, talking about bracelets and home monitoring and doing investigations and, you know, so I just like to say, you know, when you put out a platform and you're going to say, like, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. I think, his best intentions as a political leader in provincial government, I think you should, step up to the plate. Instead of robbing all our natural resources and getting a pension and, jacking up your salaries. And after 4 years, after the robberies and all the money that you squandered, you're going to be retired with a pension, which I don't think is fair. It takes an average worker 25 years to get a pension. So why should an elected official get elected, get sent into power, and do all this lies, deceit, and the public see, and after 4 years get voted out of government, and then once they're voted out of government, they receives a big pension. So, I think we got to wake our eyes open to this election, what it means, the parties, what groups, because everybody got their own little East End, West End, the Blacks, Monday Pan, Shea Heights, and everybody got their party that's running for that seat. But, they'll go around, knock on your door all day, and they're going to tell you, oh, we're going to change the healthcare. We're going to help the elderly with their medication. We're going to have the social services system adjusted. We're going to give the single mothers a baby bonus raise. We're going to open housing. We're going to open schooling. We're going to help the infrastructure. So then they get your vote. But then when you get into the House of Assembly, you just sit down and you're bitter and you're rhetoric with each other. You pass no policies. You just debate the nonsense, the same thing over and over and over in the House of Assembly. You don't come to no resolution. You don't come to no agreements. You just keep wasting the taxpayers' money over and over and over and over. And now, like the white ball, God bless you, Premier, and I'm not trying to put you down or nothing, sir, because you're in a higher power and position than I am. And, I respect you for that. But how can you, as our Premier of Newfoundland, get in and stand up in the House of Assembly and stating that you're going to send out millions and millions of dollars for surveys and different suggestions and opinions from people when you're the Premier of our province? We counted on you to be our Premier, to step up for our country and to put social policies in place where we don't have to be in the House of Assembly bickering, arguing, debating. We know the infrastructure is failing. We know the elderly's got to, pay their old age pension to pay for the medication. We know children are suffering with mental illness. And the issues here in Newfoundland, the infrastructure, our natural resources, we only got 500,000 people in Newfoundland, and here yet we got natural resources that is in the billions and billions and billions of dollars. And I don't know, with a grade 6 education, that all our natural resources is being squandered, plundered, and yet the people that are working got to pay 40% of the taxes into the provincial government. And, next thing you know, they're out sucking millions and millions of barrels of oil. Now our provincial government got a big weed factory here in St. John's, and they can't keep the weed on the shelves. So when we sold weed, we made a lot of money selling marijuana on the street. But once we noticed that we're getting a lot of money, we used to go in the Buckmaster Circle, Chalker Place, Froud Avenue, Monday Pan, and Shea Heights, and we used to give it back to the children. We used to see children with no sneakers. We'd buy them new sneakers. We'd see children and mothers struggling with no food, and we'd buy groceries. So I'm just wondering, the provincial government, all that marijuana money that you're making, where's all that going at? I know there's a lot of people in the housing that haven't got $250 to go buy groceries. They haven't got a vehicle. They got to get the bus. And believe it or not, sometimes they don't even have a Metro pass. So, this is a bigger issue. I can rant all day long because I have so much knowledge on my mind. But, the people of Newfoundland all over, we have to wake up and we have to ask our government, if you're going to say that you're going to help infrastructure, mental illness, the elderly, and everybody's there up in arms saying, where's all going to get all this money for that? Well, you're paying 40% of your check in taxes. They got a big marijuana factory pumping out marijuana at a rate they can't keep up. We got all offshore that I'm imagining that there's no possible chance that we can't balance the budget and get everybody a dividend check like they do in Saudi Arabia. You know, we got copper, zinc. Now they're drilling for gold. We got fish. You know, so I think natural resources. The minister should be called out with the minister of justice, because I just can't understand, with a 500,000 population living in Newfoundland, with billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars of natural resources, how come the politicians are building 2 and 3 brand new homes? How come all these union members got 2, 3 homes, 3 cars? They got their sons, their wives, their daughters all making about $2,000 a week. So that's 4 or 5 people in the home making about $20,000 a week. They're hauling in about $50,000 to $80,000 a month. They're hauling in $1 million a year check. So these union guys, you know, I love union brothers, but why don't we share the conference with the people that don't got a job? You know, maybe go on a rotation, you know, because there's a lot of people out here who haven't got a job in Newfoundland, and all these union are just writing checks. You know, Nelcor hiring these big multi-billion-dollar companies, pumping billions of dollars into projects, and it's just a waste of spending. So it all boils down to your vote. I'm going to go, because this video is long and I can rant and rave all day. I got so much knowledge in my brain. I don't even need to read. I don't need to write down things. I don't need to lie about poems that I made and stories that I went through. My stories is in my mind and my heart is something that I lived. I can rap and rhyme all day and spew this shit from my mind and my heart. But what it boils down to, I'm going to get off YouTube. If anybody wants to see me in the next 3 days to come in and have a conversation with you, your family, your husband, your wife, inbox me and I will greatly love to come to your family. Peace out. Thank you for the journey. Thank you for all your support. And if you need me, give me a shout. But remember, when you vote, we need 100% the Liberal government out of power. That's something I really appreciate your vote. And I know Liberals, you know, you're not going to change your vote. Liberal is a Liberal, PC is PC, NDP, Independent, whatever. But I'm just asking you to reconsider your vote this time. You know, I'll be really, really disappointed that if election time comes and we re-elect the Liberal government into power, it will be one of the biggest upsets in the history of Newfoundland if we elect back in the Liberal government, because they're a farce. They're called skullduggery. And if you want to know what skullduggery is, ask your grandmother or your grandfather or your dad. Skullduggery is hiding dirt underneath the rug, shame, black eye, ripping off the people, skullduggery. So on that note, vote time, Tom Osborne, you know, God bless you. Maybe you should cross the bench in the House of Assembly and walk away from your party. Your party's bringing a lot of shame on our government, is bringing a lot of shame on our country. I really can't believe it that people are not walking away from the Liberal. Vote NDP, vote Independent, you know, vote Conservative. But Liberal, you're done. You're done in power. I 100% can guarantee the next provincial election, the Liberal government, you can put out as many signs as you want. You can blow many as rhetoric horns. You can come out with all policies stating that you're going to put in monitoring, bracing, you're going to do house arrest, you're going to do surveys, you're going to break the ground on the White Hills. Your democracy is going to come to a light, and your dictatorship is going to come to a light, and we're going to vote in a government that's going to go back to a democratic society. Liberal government, you're the most shameful Liberal party in the history that's ever set on to provincial government in Newfoundland. I really can't believe it that you would have the audacity, when I got locked up Wednesday night, to go down to the boathouse and throw a big party with all your big suits and drink all your fancy liquor and wine and beers and hoot and holler with all the women. It was the biggest shameful move I've ever seen in the history of my life in Newfoundland. That here I did for 9 days out in the freezing cold 20 below weather to bring awareness to me and my mental health and everybody in Newfoundland, and you shun me and wouldn't even as much as even say hi. And you have the audacity to go into the boathouse and have a massive party on the taxpayers' money, and you think you're going to get re-elected back into Parliament? I'll guarantee you, Mr. Andrew Parsons, from the highest power, from Newfoundland, Port aux Basques, right on down to St. John's, Newfoundland, I will guarantee you here right now today, 1,000%, the Liberal government is not a party who let the dogs out. Hoop, hoop.